By early afternoon, almost all of the News Center 8 viewing area was under a state of emergency. All vehicles were instructed to stay off the roads, except for emergency units. Governor Milliken called in the National Guard earlier today to help snowbound communities. Holland and Battle Creek were among the first two West Michigan cities asking for that assistance. The snowfall is expected to continue through the night, so it's likely that the state of emergency will not be lifted before tomorrow. The clogged roads caused a number of problems for emergency vehicles. Ambulances had difficulty getting to pregnant women in labor, victims of heart attacks, and other cardiac disorders. In Allegan County, state police troopers in Wayland were taken off the road and responded to emergency calls only on snowmobile. Four-wheel drive groups were helping police and hospitals all over. We'll have details on that later. In Grand Rapids, police were called in to transport blood from a blood bank to a hospital. City and local government offices were closed, as were many businesses and public schools. There was no residential mail delivery in Grand Rapids. Drivers for a Grand Rapids paper were trying to make runs throughout the metropolitan area, but a Kalamazoo paper was not published today. Police and government officials asked everyone to stay off the roads. They also asked that the phones be used only in case of emergency. Buses were out earlier in Grand Rapids, but they ran just long enough to pick up people who were stranded downtown. So many buses got stuck themselves, the service was closed down once the stranded pedestrians were safely home. There may be bus service tomorrow, but transit authority officials say they'll make that decision after they see where they stand with the weather. Rona Williams, News Center 8.
Weather emergencies like medicine runs dominated police calls today. Criminals like the rest of us were snowed in. Just as well, so were the cops. By mid-morning, only half the Kent County Sheriff's deputies had made it on duty. Early in the morning, the Sheriff's Department had nothing moving. Many patrol cars were stuck, one for 4 hours. Sheriff's cars were ordered to outposts to wait for emergency calls. E-units, with the help of four-wheel drive volunteers and snowmobiles, formed squads to move into impassable roads. For a while today, Grand Rapids Police Emergency Medical Unit officers used a van with a plow belonging to one policeman. Regular E-units could not negotiate snow-clogged streets, but occasionally got a lot of citizen help.
She was doing real well, except she definitely was in labor. Both ambulances, Mercy sent 2 or 3 ambulances. I know of at least 2, just in case one of them broke down or got stuck. And we pulled off the road to allow them room, of course, to get in there. And everybody was stuck. It just seemed like the whole block just all got together, and they literally hand shoveled a wide enough path for us to carry her a half a block all the way down to Eastern and load her up, and she went to Butterworth.
Later in the day, E-unit men switched to four-wheel drive vehicles supplied by a local auto dealership. Other police officers in Grand Rapids turned for help to other city departments, using everything from a city cemetery jeep to a Parks Department stake truck. Snowmobiles played a major role in emergencies, transporting stranded people and food and medicine. State police asked snowmobilers to check for stranded drivers on clogged back roads. A lot of snowmobilers just mounted up to volunteer their help.
Oh, I'd pick up one guy over off of Richmond Street, and I just took him home, you know. His cars and stuff, it's unbelievable.
What have you seen out there this morning?
Just everybody stranded. His car's stuck all over.
What are you going to do now?
Just take off, head down the expressway, I guess. See what's down that way.
Ambulance services often got help in transporting people from side streets to clearer main roads from four-wheel drive vehicles. Fire equipment traveled with a jeep and plow, and firemen worried about abandoned cars on side streets. Sheriff's deputies in St. Joseph and Kalamazoo counties would like this scene. They say they are ready to arrest anyone driving a car without a good reason. It is that serious an emergency. Henry Erb, News Center 8.
Officials from 6 of the hospitals in Grand Rapids put out the request late this morning for people with four-wheel drive vehicles to help get hospital employees to work. And ever since then, the phones have been ringing. The headquarters for volunteers to call is here at Osteopathic Hospital. Volunteers are matched up with hospital employees to get rides to work at Blodgett, Butterworth, Mary Freebed, St. Mary's, Ferguson, Drosty Ferguson, and osteopathic hospitals in Grand Rapids.
Hi. Can I ask how your ride was?
Oh, it was super. We did one donut somewhere back there. But it was fun.
Do you think
Different.
would you gotten in otherwise?
No way. No way. And in Texas, they don't have this noise.
The volunteer who drove Pat to work says he's been out since 7 o'clock this morning, helping folks who've been stuck. And then he heard about the need for four-wheel drive vehicles to help medical personnel get to the hospitals.
I decided to call them up because I figured they could use all the help. And this is my hospital, and I never know if I'm going to be here or one of my friends. So least I can do is help.
How many people have you brought here?
This is my first, but I'm going to be here all night, and tomorrow I told them I'd stay, so as many as I can.
Great, okay.
Officials at the 6 Grand Rapids hospitals say without the help they've received today, many employees would never have made it to work.
Well, the response has been fantastic. And there's no way in the world that we're going to be able to thank these people personally. But I think that if some way they can be made aware of the appreciation that we have, and I know I speak for the administrators of the other hospitals in town. It's been overwhelming. Okay, we think that we're going to be able to get enough people in to take us through the critical period tonight, and hopefully if the snow lets up a little, we'll be all in good shape tomorrow.
How are you doing?
There are
Very
still
good.
some hospital employees who need rides, both to and from the hospitals. Officials say if you have a four-wheel drive vehicle and are willing to help, call 247-7219 or 247-7221. Jane Brierly, News Center 8.
Most of the News Center 8 viewing area is still under a state of emergency. While some streets are cleared in various cities, the county-wide situation for some areas is still quite grim. At least 4 counties have asked to be declared disaster areas. They are Allegan, Calhoun, Ionia, and Kalamazoo counties. All of these areas report that roads are completely blocked. Only emergency vehicles are allowed on the roads, and even they're having problems. State police in Wayland say it's taking 4 and 5 hours for authorities to respond to medical emergencies. Some highways and freeways are open, but only in certain areas. In Berry County, M66 is open from north of the village of Nashville. M37 from Hastings to Grand Rapids is also open. In Ionia County, M21 is open. M46, 57, and 66 are all open in Montcalm County. Newaygo County officials say M20, 37, and 82 are all open there. All other roads are closed officially, even if it looks as if you can get through. Police say those roads that are open are to be used for emergencies. They encourage everyone to stay off otherwise. Rona Williams, News Center 8.
Workers manning heavy construction equipment struggled today to loosen snow-clogged roads from the grip of the deadly blizzard that hit Michigan last week. Allegan County was one of the hardest hit areas in this part of the state. Officials there say main roads are clear, but it may be 2 to 3 days before many secondary roads are reopened.
Well, the main roads I think are pretty well open, but as you just seen, the side roads, some of them are one lane, and it's kind of tough for the school buses or fire trucks to get down, so we still have a problem.
Any problem with that, with people not getting food or fuel, or how's that working out?
Oh, we've had excellent cooperation. Sheriff's Department's been like a operations center. We've had social services and Red Cross and the snowmobilers and four-wheelers, and excellent cooperation from everybody, and plus the National Guard.
Workers trying to pave the way through these Allegan County rural roads ran into drifts as high as 15 feet. These 2 payloaders took over 2 hours to blaze a one-lane trail through this section of road. Police are still advising motorists to stay off the roads. This reporter can attest to the poor conditions. During my investigation of the snow and ice-covered roads, I too found my wheels spinning in a ditch off the side of this road in Allegan County. Luckily, there were snow removers close by to pull the car out. Red Cross workers and National Guardsmen are still available at many police posts throughout the state. Residents are being urged to call for assistance instead of taking a chance on the slippery roads. In the meantime, weary road crews will remain under the gun throughout the first part of this week, since more snow may be on the way.
Running off Granville Avenue in southwest Grand Rapids is Coat Court. Not a main thoroughfare, but a mighty important one for the people who live along it. Pam Miller lives on the street. This morning, she rallied her neighbors into a shoveling marathon to clear the entire street.
We called the snow removal service, and they said they can't get in. And it was a choice of either walking or shoveling. If we had to walk, we may as well shovel as we go. It takes us a little longer, but we'll get there.
You mentioned something about some newborn babies,
There's
too.
newborn babies on the street. There's old people on the street that can't get out. So everybody that's come out, except the old people and the woman with the new baby, we've shoveled their cars out for them. We've shoveled their driveways out and shovel all the way to the end. And this way we can all get in and out.
Hard work did not preclude a little horsing around. But one thing's for sure, the residents of Coat Court know teamwork. And if an emergency comes up, they'll be mighty glad they do.